And new at 10 tonight, there were new developments Wednesday in the story of Diego and Lizandro Claros.
Tasmin, it all began last week when ICE agents detained the brothers following a regular checkup that they had set up with immigration officials in Baltimore.
The undocumented teen informed immigration of his plans to head to North Carolina for college.
19-year-old Lizandro Claros-Saravia was heading to college on a soccer scholarship. He and his 22-year-old brother Diego were detained when they checked in at the ICE Baltimore office last Friday.
I mean, nothing had happened or anything like that, so we just thought it was going to be a normal day. I sent a letter. It had the scholarship I got and that I was accepted to the school and that I was getting enrolled, that I had gotten enrolled already. And so they asked if we could come, because we had to check in, and so they asked if we could come earlier. They took us to a back room, and then we waited for like 2 hours, and they came out. And they just said that they couldn't let us go because they couldn't let me go to another state and live in another state. Because if they needed to catch us one day, it was going to be harder on them.
It's just way different. Like, I used to have my card, like, I just grab my keys and go out. And over here, like, I can't, because I don't have my card. I don't even know the place. I can put the GPS and go out, because there's no GPS over here. So, you know, there's no name on the street.
I feel like this is my university, but at the same time, like, around here, I'm not adapted to yet. I don't really have pictures that I put around and all that. I don't know. I feel like I'll never be able to adapt normally if I keep bringing stuff from there. At first, I used to blame it on myself because I was the one who sent that letter. I was the one who was going to college, and I mean, my brother had nothing to do with it, and just because he was there in the process with me, he also was a victim of it, so.
So, if you could go back and do it all over again, would you send that letter?
No. I wouldn't show up to the immigration offices. I didn't know my dad until I moved to the U.S. So when he left, I was about 1 year old. And so then my mom went next, and then my older brother and my sister. And it was just me and Diego back in El Salvador. So we've been together for a long time now. My whole family's in the U.S. and that's where my home is. That's where all my family is, so you don't feel at home if your people is not at home.
This is Lizandro and Diego.
As you see on the pictures, Lizandro was really, not really, but fat. They were living here together before, and then when Lizandro girlfriend. So Diego decided to move to this one.
No me atrevo a veces ni a entrar al cuarto porque a los cuartos de ellos me da mucha tristeza. Muy difícil. Muy triste. La casa es muy vacía, muy sola.
Muy difícil para mí. Saber que no, pues lo tuvimos y no lo tenemos ya.
This is Diego and Lizandro in a fair in El Salvador.
They were always together, huh?
Always. And this was last year for Christmas. It's really hard not to be together, and especially these holidays. Last year we were so happy for Christmas, and this year is hard for us.
Take a little bit of a break.
Cuando ellos vinieron aquí, nos preocupamos con ella a meterla a una academia de deporte para que ellos, después de la escuela, se mantuvieran ocupados, para que ellos no pudieran dar ningún problema aquí.
He was a very aggressive player, and that's why we loved him for like his soccer world, because he brought something to the field that a lot of us probably wouldn't have. But it was the times like before practice and after practice, on the bus rides to games, when we're traveling, that's when you really get to know people, and that's when he made the biggest impact on all of us.
Lizandro! Lizandro! He's somebody! He's somebody! And he deserves full equality! Full equality!
I mean, I've known Lizandro for the last 4 years. When I first met him, I mean, he didn't speak much English. And over the last 4 years, just to see his progression, not only soccer-wise, but in this country and what he's doing. We went down in front of Homeland Security, which is just up off Nebraska Avenue. We didn't assume the worst, but like we knew it was a possibility that it wasn't going to do anything. But I think it made enough noise that people are still talking about it, which in our mind is like what's the most important part, because it can help other people in the future, and they're an example of great people that were doing great things in this country that benefited a ton of people and impacted a ton of people that were wrongfully taken away from it.
You look at a kid like Lizandro and Diego, and they were, despite the fact that they came here at 10 and 14, despite the fact that they have no criminal record, despite the fact that they have been valuable contributors to our community, they were deported. And how is that just? I don't know. Add to the fact that this administration is hell-bent on criminalizing immigrants, and add to the fact that they're targeting youth that are going to college. I'd say it's not just disheartening, but inhumane. And I would say any rational person in America would say that's just terrible policy.
We're trying to see if we can play first division here. So if we can make it, then it's gonna be, good future for us. It's the thing that we like to do. be in school and then go play.
When I'm on the field, when I'm with the ball, there's nothing, no problems. I'm back home, I'm where I'm supposed to be, like, nothing. And it's all about the game at that moment. At this moment, I'm just, it's whatever. I gotta do what I gotta do here, and if they gave me the opportunity here, then why not take advantage of it? And then we'll see what life has on for us after that.